Tuesday night Krug show. Look who's in the house. The Sharks fan, Raj. Off and running Tuesday night on the Krug show, brought to you by Pig and a Pickle. The best barbecue in all of Northern California is Pig and a Pickle. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to or 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. They'll be opening in 2026 in Petaluma. Pig and a Pickle. Go say hi to Damon and Mary. Get some brisket. Get some brisket chili. Tell them that Krug sent you. And, of course, we're brought to you by Sleeper. We're brought to you by Habas Law. More from them in a bit. But first, look who's in the house. The great Raj Melwani. Raj, good to see you. The fans are fired up that you're here. Come on. A little bit more than that. Come on. You guys can do better than that. All right. Let's not give Raj a fat head or anything. All right, but we're off and running on the Krug Show. Hope everybody's having a great one. Welcome to the Krug Show, and it's Tuesday, January the 27th. We're here to talk Niners, even though the Niners are not going to the Super Bowl. But we got a lot to get to, and there's some great topics out there. And we're off and running, and we feel really great, and I hope everybody's having a good one. All right. We called this stream today, and by the way, there's people in the chat. Thank you to everybody who's here. I love all the people in the chat. Sometimes I feel like I don't spend enough time focusing on the chat, but I will. 49er _ throwback. Hit the thumbs up button and subscribe, faithful. That's right. Hit like and subscribe. If you hit like, more people just find the show in the algorithm. If you hit subscribe, anytime Raj and I go live, you'll get a little ding alert saying, "Hey, don't miss it. Don't miss it." We got this guy. Candace, or this woman, Candace needs to stop. You're lazy and late, Larry. Okay, all right. Lazy. Resident Dr. Evil. Larry, you lazy boy. There you go, honoring the great Bill Urbanic. We got this one from 49er _ throwback. Let's go, Raj. Go Sharks. Sharks up 4-1 on Vancouver, north of the border, in one of the most beautiful skylines in the world. Vancouver, British Columbia, nice. Is absolutely one of the most beautiful skylines you're going to see. But we got this one, WSG. What's that stand for, Raj?
What's good?
What's good?
My boy Steven Reynolds. This guy has followed me on Instagram from like when I first did. Like he's like a day one, like one of my first.
He's an OG.
Followers. He's an old. Like shout out to Steven Reynolds. No, 100%. He was like a young kid when he followed me. Now he's like he's like a college age kid. He's a real one.
Maria Red. Raj, love the Krug and Raj shows. Yes, the Krug and Raj Tuesdays have been a thing for a while. We've been doing this on Tuesdays. How long do you think we've been doing this on Tuesdays?
I would say like 2 or almost maybe 3 years.
It's a while.
It's been a while. Like we've actually been doing this for a long time. It's actually crazy.
It's crazy. And the one thing I love about Raj, I mean, there's many things we love about Raj, but one thing I love about Raj is you're a grinder, dude. I've total respect. I had respect for you early, Kev, found you and brought us together. But I didn't know at the time that you were a true grinder. And you know me, man, I'm a total grinder. So I can appreciate that, dude. You don't miss. I don't miss. I mean, we'll miss if it's like Christmas or New Year's, and we're not crazy. Something happens, or somebody's really ill or whatever. There are a couple of situations, but other than that, every Tuesday, right around 8:30, we're here. We're doing our thing. All right, so let's just get right into it. We called it 49er predictions. Which free agent will the Niners add, and who will walk away? So that's the first topic. And before we get into who they're going to add, if I gave you this question, give me one player, and I'd love to hear from you guys in the chat as well. If you guys could throw your candidate in the chat. One player. I don't care if it's a draft pick. I don't care if it's a free agent. I don't care if it's a trade. I don't care if it's not realistic. I don't care. Oh, we got a fight going. We got a fight going in Sharks Vancouver. They're dropping the gloves.
Let's go, baby.
Ooh, now they're down on the ground.
I didn't get a fight. I went to the game on Friday. I didn't get a fight, but it was a hell of a game.
Yeah, so did San Jose score here? No, they didn't score, but all of a sudden there was a big old fight. And then it ended quickly. Gaudette, is that who that is? 81. He's like smiling over on the bench. Hockey players are badasses, dude. I mean, could you imagine, dude, if you do Niners stuff and you do physical therapy? Could you imagine if it was a regular part of your day to fight somebody?
Just get in a fight. Like I go up to someone and just start beating their ass. They start beating my ass. That'd be great.
What do you do? Oh, I do physical therapy. Well, how's it go? Well, it's good usually, but I usually wind up fighting. Yeah. I usually throw a couple haymakers.
I mean, sometimes I want to with like some of the like stressful, like there's some people I want to like wring their neck. And I had a question. Someone said, "Do I do content creating full time? Am I a PT full?" I do both full, like all day. I'm fucking. You said I'm a grinder. Like I work, home health clinic, and I'm posting content all day, every day. I don't do the YouTube as much as I used to, but all day I'm doing both, man.
Man, you're everywhere. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Raj is blowing up. RSF 49ers is a huge site on YouTube. Heck, in some ways, I could see the sun come up, but I don't believe it's a new day until RSF 49ers says it. All right, give me one player. One player. Why don't we start there? And I want you guys in the chat to throw me one player. One player that you are dead set on the 49ers adding this offseason. Trade, free agent, draft, I don't care. One player. Who do you got?
One player? Oh, man, there's so many good ones. But if I get one player, I don't care. You said if it's not realistic or whatever.
No, it can be totally unrealistic. I don't care if you say Mahomes.
Max Crosby, dude. I need Max Crosby. Max Crosby. Because you know what? Yeah, Bosa's supposed to come back. How's Bosa going to do after his second torn ACL? I love Bosa. Go get me some help for that man. And go get Max. I don't know what you got to do. Go get Max Crosby. Trade your first picks because you suck at drafting in the first 2 rounds. Just trade them away, Larry.
Max Crosby. Now, some people are saying, you know what? Max Crosby's too old. Max Crosby's going to be like 29 or 30, and that, I don't know, that the Niners don't need to add an older player. I don't know.
He's not old. He's in the prime of his career. Go give me Max Crosby.
He's not old, but old. He could be. Let's just say this: he's not young either. He's kind of in that in between. So Max Crosby, that's a good one. Yeah. We've got this guy here, just the tip. Yeah, great. Love it. Just.
Holy shit, man.
Why? Just the tip. Hey, baby, just the tip. Just the tip. Unbelievable. Just the tip, says Makai Lemon, the SC receiver. Okay, so he's thinking receiver. You're thinking defensive end. Okay, I had not thought of mine. There's a bunch of guys that I would love to see them add. I'll probably go. You got a good one. I mean, Max Crosby would be fantastic. Yeah, that's fantastic. My whole thing with that, and realistic wise, I just don't think that Mark Davis is ever gonna point to point any great player that the Raiders have and say, hey, there's the Niners, go play for them.
Yeah, I agree.
I like that though. I think it's we're thinking along the same lines. I'm going to go draft pick, and I'm going to go maybe even equally unrealistic. I'm going to go Ruben Bain, Miami Hurricanes defensive end, just dominated the college football playoff.
He's a dog.
He is absolutely a total dog. 6'3", 275. Yeah. They say he's got short arms. Who cares? Bring his short arms here. This guy's awesome. The motor, he's against the run, against the pass. I mean, you'd have to get into the top 10 for sure. You're probably going to have to get into the top 5 if you really want him, which means you're probably going to have to trade your number 1 and Mac Jones and have somebody in the top 5 really want Mac Jones badly, something like that. But so you're going Max Crosby. I'm going Ruben Bain.
We got more. We're going to do more.
Well, to just the tip. I'm not sure if I want to venture too far out into the chat here. Here we go. We got this one. Lowell Easy. Carnell Tate.
Okay.
I'll get this one from Half Dead. Larry's been known to throw hands, so thank you. We got this one from Todd Matheson. Grinder Assassins. All right. Somebody says Zachariah Branch.
Somebody says. We know who said that. They ain't reading the name.
Zach, just the tip 4417. If it was just the tip, wouldn't it just be the tip? We wouldn't even need the 4417. But Zachariah Branch is a speed guy. Here's a good one. Blooming Cash. Mm-hmm. Tyler Linderbaum is the dream, man.
That'd be nice.
Okay, so CBS Sports has a thing out. They're predicting Tyler Linderbaum's going to sign with the Niners 4 years, $72 million. What do you think of that?
I would love it, but I saw that today, and I was like, that would be great. You upgrade the center, you need to upgrade the interior O-line because you need it. That's one of the big, upgrades they need. The Niners have, neglected upgrading O-line for a long time, but I don't know if it's going to happen because they absolutely love Jake Brendel. I don't know why. They love that man. He's the bee's knees. Get that man out of here. He's a journeyman. Upgrade. Get yourself a real center. Get yourself a real offensive lineman. Go get Tyler Linderbaum. He's 25. When he was coming out of the draft, Larry, I wanted this guy so bad. You have a chance to get him to right your wrongs. Get him. Just like you could have got CMC out of the draft. You did it. Go get him. Make up for lost time. Get this man. He's going to be great. Please. I love him.
Our mutual friend Akash put out a tweet today, and I love Akash, but this one, anytime he's talking up Jake Brendel.
Yeah.
But per Sports Solutions,
saw that
Data Hub, they have a blown block rate metric that tracks the amount of missed blocks in the pass and run game. Jake Brendel ranked as the 6th best center in the NFL with a blown block rate of 1.8% this season, tied with Tyler Linderbaum.
And it's crazy that it was Tyler Linderbaum that he's tied with because everybody was talking about him because of the CBS prediction. So it's of course, Kyle's going to see that. Why do we need Jake? Or why do we need Tyler when Jake's just as good as him? Like that kind of stuff. I hate it. But
driving me crazy on that. I mean, I love Kyle Shanahan, but come on, Kyle. Come on. I mean, seriously, if I had to debate Kyle on this, he would lose in a heartbeat. Now, this is what Kyle said about Jake Brendel a couple weeks ago to us. He said, I think he's one of the better centers in this league. I don't think Jake nearly gets enough credit for just how good of a football player he is. Every year we study free agents. We study around the league, and that's where you get to kind of study people. And I've always been very happy with the center that we have. When you look into just schematically some of the stuff we ask our center to do with protections, what we ask him to do with run plays, what we don't see our quarterback, any quarterback that I've had, we don't ask them to point out a lot of stuff. We have the center do a lot of that. And Jake is as good as any center I've been around with doing that stuff. Okay.
Oh, man.
The bottom line, though, Kyle, is that you got to 3rd and 1 against your nemesis, and you didn't run it up the gut. And then you got to 4th and 1 against your nemesis, and guess what? You also didn't run it up the gut. And you ran wide against maybe the fastest defense there is. They have Nicky Manwari and Drake Thomas and all these guys who run 4.5. Seattle's defense is very, very fast. And the Niners had just an absolute ghastly, awful play that they ran on 4th and 1. But my problem wasn't with what they called. It was why they called it. They called it because obviously if Shanahan really thinks that he's got a great center, why aren't you running up the middle?
Exactly.
Why? Have you ever heard the old saying, the quickest way between 2 points is a straight line? So why would you run around the side of the house when you could run through the house? I don't get it. I do get it. Shanahan knows that was going to get blown up. He knows that Brendel was going to get his stuff tossed. He knows that Brendel and Pooney and Burford aren't very good and that they aren't as strong as Byron Murphy and Leonard Williams and Jaron Reed and that Seahawk defensive line. Yeah. Bottom line is that Seahawk defensive line ain't going anywhere.
No, they're
Byron
good.
Murphy's a baby, and Leonard Williams is going to be there, and Jaron Reed's going to be there. And if you're going to stay with the same freaking guys in the middle, expecting a different result, you're going to be out. You know what I mean? I mean, let's put it out there for real. I love Kyle Shanahan. I wouldn't get rid of him. I think he's a very good coach. If you are going to try to stay with your same interior against their same defensive interior, you're going to have the same result, and you're going to get fired. So let's start thinking outside the box before we get fired, and let's start making adjustments here. Jake Brendel might be a decent – he's smart, and I'm sure he's okay as a pass protector, though the first play of the game – do you guys remember the first play of the game? You have Jake Brendel. He puts one left hand off on the left guard trying to help out on Leonard Williams, and then turned his back this way as DeMarcus Lawrence came right around him and smoked his quarterback in the fucking face.
Mm-hmm.
That happened with Jake Brendel turned his back on DeMarcus Lawrence. So he's not the greatest pass protector of all time. There's proof. Go watch the first play of the fucking NFC divisional round game. So
he's mid.
And that might be doing mid wrong.
That might be doing mid wrong. And bottom line, okay, he might be good. The metrics say he's better than we think. Oh, he's probably better than we give him credit for. I'll give him that. But you're not beating Mike McDonald and his defense with what you brought to the table this year. He owned your ass. You know, you call a spade a spade. You got beat by Mike McDonald twice in week 18 and in the NFC championship or the NFC divisional game badly. Like he stopped a mud hole in you. Fix it. If you're bringing the same nonsense team to the table next year, he's going to beat you again every single time. Adjust, get your team better. Like the Niners this offseason absolutely have a lot of work to do. If you're bringing the same team that you had this year to the table next year, the same results are going to happen because Mike McDonald, you better believe that the Seahawks, if they win the Super Bowl, whatever, they're going to improve. They're going to continue to improve because they draft well. They know free agency. It's a well-balanced team. A lot of young. That team was built through the draft. That team's going to get better. The Rams, same thing. They know how to draft. They know how to get players. The Niners need to stay consistent. They need to stay close to those guys. They got to get better than them, obviously, but you have to improve the trenches. The Niners got just tossed around on that game against the Seattle Seahawks. And next year, that's the big competition. So 100%, Larry, whatever we're talking about today is what do we improve? You got to improve the trenches. You got to improve the speed of the offense, the weapons. Kyle said it a couple weeks ago. He said the speed. He knows speed. So wide receiver, 100%. They got a lot of work to do. Bottom line, Larry.
I mean, what is a football player's prime? It's probably like, 25 through 30, right? Isn't that pretty much the prime? I mean, there's nobody. I mean, quarterbacks can play forever, but for the most part, I would say between age 25 and age 30, that's your prime. 25 to 30. It's a little different for every player, but generally 25 to 30 is your prime. Jake Brendel was an undrafted free agent who's 34 years old and weighs about 285. They got to have more pop in the run game. Give me a 26-year-old guy who's 315 pounds, who's got, I mean, Kyle, you can talk's cheap. You can talk up anybody, you know, and stats lie, you know, and liars use statistics. I can literally find a statistic that will tell any story I want to tell. So this is what I hear about the Jake Brendel. When I'm like, Jake Brendel fucking sucks and he's got to go. This is what I hear. Hey, man, Jake's actually really, really good. Look at this number. Look at that number. And I'm watching the game, and I'm seeing Kyle Shanahan on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1 get nowhere close to a fullback dive or a halfback dive or any kind of a run in the A gap or B gap. It's like they don't even try it. So that speaks louder to me than stats. Then beyond that, then I've got people who are like, and I've heard this one too. Jake's not the problem, Krug. It's Pooney and Burford. What do you think of that? Is it possible the Niners have a great center, but Burford's ass and Pooney's ass? I mean, I don't know. You tell me. I saw Pooney get worked I see Pooney getting pushed around. Greg Papa was talking about how Pooney lacks strength and can't anchor, and he was talking him down today in a way that made me think that Greg, who's obviously connected with the Niners, maybe. So if the Niners don't like Pooney, then man, that draft really sucks, because I've heard that they want to trade Renardo Green and Ricky Pearsall, and they went Ricky Pearsall, Renardo Green, Dom Pooney. If you're telling me that Pooney's weak and isn't very good and isn't a foundation piece, and I've had people close to the Niners tell me that they're going to trade Pearsall and Renardo, then that draft sucks.
Yeah. I will say this: Pooney, his rookie season was fantastic, and we were all above the hype train. And he did kind of take a big decline this year. He came in a little injured. I don't want to give him excuses, but he did kind of come in a little off, schedule with the injuries and this and that. So I don't know if he fully got into his full shape, but he definitely wasn't as good this year. He was getting pushed around a lot compared to last year. Obviously, rookie season, we thought he was going to be a star. Sometimes you hit that second year, wall where, you get that sophomore slump. So hopefully next year he can really improve and get stronger in the offseason, because he definitely didn't look good. But Spencer Burford, he had moments, but he's not a starter. You got to improve the left guard. And honestly, maybe the whole old line is bad. They were better than, a lot of people give them credit for. Like, they played better at times throughout the year, but overall, that whole unit, it's not going to win you a Super Bowl. They're not going to be able to beat Seattle and LA at times, because I'm telling you, man,
they can't block Poona Ford.
They can't. Yeah, so I'm saying let Burford go. I like the guy. He's a good backup. He's a good depth piece, but you can't start him. At some point, you got to address the elephant in the room, which is Trent Williams. He's not going to be on this team forever. Get the man to replace him, the guy that's going to replace him someday, because it's looking like, okay, if Trent Williams comes back this year, how many games is he going to miss? I love Trent, but he's going to miss a few games. You got to get the insurance policy for him. And maybe Pooney was, a little better than he really is in his rookie season. But at the same time, I think Pooney can get back to that rookie season form, but he's got a lot of work to do in the offseason. He definitely needs to improve his strength, because he was getting pushed around a lot. But it could be because, playing next to Brendel, it's a combination of things. I just think the interior O-line is not good, period. Fix it. Get me something better than what they brought this year.
They need culture changing. Jake Brendel's not a culture changing offensive lineman. They're too finesse. They need to be more nasty. They need to be more power. They need to be able to run the ball in short yardage. They need to be able to stonewall interior rushers. I don't have confidence in their ability to do any of that. Now, I'm going to give you two names, and I really believe in these two guys. One of them I'm going to show you right here. It's Keelan Rutledge, number 77 for Georgia Tech. Okay, this guy, Isaiah Small, says, you look up a picture of toughness in the dictionary, you might see a picture of Georgia Tech offensive guard Keelan Rutledge. Case in point, he just drove a defensive lineman into the ground, and the play was nowhere near him. And then this guy says the Dolphins have talked to him at the Senior Bowl. Rutledge just told me. This is the guard I want. This is the plug-and-play guard I want. Keelan Rutledge. He's nasty. He's violent. He's looking to seek and destroy and bury people. That's what I'm looking for as a guard. Okay, that's what I want as a guard. There's another guy that I want to show you. If I see if I can find a thing on him. Duke. I saw Duke play Cal this year, and Duke just overwhelmed Cal. And Duke has a right tackle. His name's Brian Parker. And he's been playing center in the All-Star games. He's listed at 6'5", 300 pounds. He's projected to be like a third-round pick. He's got anchor strength. He's got exceptional hand placement, great timing. He can diagnose stunts. He's smart. He went to Duke, obviously. And, I to me, this is a guy that I here's let me see if I can find a highlight. Yeah, here it is. Here's
look at that.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a strong guy. Look at that. Boom. Hog molly.
The Chiefs met with him at the Shrine Bowl. The Duke University left tackle and right tackle also can play guard and center. Excellent footwork. Very good pass blocker. Have to figure Andy Heck is intrigued.
Nice.
I like the movement ability. I like a college tackle that can play inside, because if you're a college tackle, you've got foot quickness a lot of the centers, when you look at them trying to transition to the pros, they don't have that foot quickness. Now, this guy's got 32.5-inch arms, so maybe that's a little bit shorter. So that might be a little too short for tackle, but it's really good for interior. I mean, that's fine for an interior player. Here he is going one-on-one at guard, it looks like. But I like the ability to move his feet. I like how he stays square. I like how this guy's looking to bury people. He was on the all-practice team. So there he is down here in the all-practice team for the West all-practice team, voted on for the week. So those are my two guys. I like Keelan Rutledge and I like Brian Parker. And to me, you need culture-changing offensive linemen. Yeah. You're going up against, the Rams D-line, which is awesomely strong. You're going up against Seattle's D-line, which is also, these guys are big and strong and nasty. And Steve Young said it. They need to improve their interior line. Dante Whitner said it. He's like, or Richard Sherman said it. He said, like, you can't move Seattle's defensive linemen. You can't beat them.
No.
So I know Linderbaum is the sexy name in free agency. CBS has given 4 years, $72 million. If they don't want to do that, draft these guys, Keelan Rutledge, Brian Parker. Neither of them are going to be first-round picks. Trade back a little bit in round 1 if you have to into round 2. Pick up a few extra picks and go get these guys on day 2 and maybe day 3.
Yeah, it would be good to get some young players, and then you can build upon them. But the only thing I have against that is, and the Niners really going to play their young players. Like, that's the other thing is, okay, like the defensive players, Robert Saleh made sure to play them, and they had no choice. They had to play those young guys, and they came in, stepped right up. But I don't know, man. I just don't feel like Kyle would give him that opportunity. Sometimes he doesn't like to play his
rookies. They played C.J. West and Alfred Collins a shit ton. They played
that defense. Now I'm saying on offense. That's
they played Tom Pooney the year before. They started him all year.
They had no choice, though. If they got no choice, then yeah, maybe the cases. But again, I'd love to get some young players. I just think getting a guy like Tyler Linderbaum, he's coming in, and that's his job. Like, he's going to start from day 1. There's no point to have to develop. That's why I want to get like a quality starter. But you're right. There's this cap space. You can't get everybody. They got a lot of other decisions to make, wide receiver. And like I said, maybe you get and someone was questioning me about, getting a guy for Trent Williams, because he says he's still playing. But down the line, you need to make sure you address that. So maybe you get the guy that you can let sit back and develop. He can play inside, maybe, play a little bit on the line. And then when Trent's done, you got the guy to take his spot. But regardless of what they do, they have to improve on that role. But again, there's a lot of questions there. There's wide receiver. They need speed. What the heck's going to happen at tight end, right? George Kittle may not be ready to start the season. So the Niners have a lot of questions this offseason.
No doubt. All right, let's switch topics. Let's talk about JJ. Kev put together this for me. I talked about this. It might have been earlier today. It might have been yesterday. Here's me talking about JJ. Your quick thoughts on this after we play. As far as free agents for the Niners, here's the list. Juwan Jennings. Sign him. Don't sign him for $20 million, but sign him. Do not give him $20 million. If he wants $20 million and it's like, hey, man, I want $20 million or I'm going to bolt, say, bro, we just called an Uber. They're going to pick you up in 5. We'll get you out to SFO or wherever you're flying from. Beat it. See ya. We're not paying you $20 million. You're not a $20 million receiver. We're not going to pay you based on anything other than what we think we're getting out of you. No way. He's not worth $20 million. He's probably not worth 15, to be honest. But I think I would offer him 2 years, $32 million. Offer him 16 a year. I'd just say to him, hey, man, take it or leave it. And you got like an hour. Figure it out. We're not doing no drama here. That's my fucking offer. 2 years at $16 million. You want to be here? Be here. And if not, get out of here and tell me in the next 24 hours minimum. As far as that might be a little hard hitting, but you know what? No drama. These wide receivers are drama queens. Enough of this crap. They dance this dance with Ayuk. They dance this dance with Debo. Enough of these wide receivers who have these inflated opinions of himself. If he wants to be here, 2 years, $32 million. It's right there. Some people think, I asked John Chapman about it. He said, oh, I wouldn't even offer him that. I was listening to KMBR earlier today, and I heard Greg Papa say, if you could offer him, let's say, not a lot of money. And then I was like, okay, what's Greg going to say? He's like, but, let's say you get him like, 2 years at like 22, 24 million. I'm like, what? Yeah. No fucking way. You got to be kidding me. I'm not paying a number 3 wide receiver and a guy who runs 4.8. I'm not doing it. I'm not paying that guy, $50 million over the course of 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years, $16 million. I'll overpay. I think it's an overpay. I think he's worth more like maybe 13, 14, maybe 15. 2 years, 30, I think would be my ceiling. But because he's JJ and he's a culture player and I like him and I want him and I think, he means more to me than just a receiver, I would say 2 years, $32 million. I'm giving you $2 million just because you're JJ, just because I like you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd offer you 2 years, $30 million, but I'm going to offer you $16 million a year. That extra million in each year is just because we like you. $32 million, take it or leave it. I want to know soon. And that's it, period. And if he says, you know what? No, I think JJ knows that he's going to go for the bag because he was all weepy on his final day in the locker room. And you could tell it's like, bro knows that his price tag in the open market is likely to exceed what the Niners are willing to spend. And it sounds like he's made up his mind through Rosenhaus. They're going to take the bag and he wants the biggest bag. There ain't nothing wrong with that. There ain't nothing wrong with wanting the biggest bag, but we're not playing that game. And we're not, and I definitely, if the Niners kowtow to that, they're fools.
Yeah, I agree. 2 years, $32 million is more than fair. That's more than I would have paid him. I agree. I would have given him maybe 14 to 15 million a year. And that was being generous. 16 million just because, he's been the culture guy. He's been the blocker. He's done so much for this team. You reward him for being a little bit loyal. You give him that extra million too. I think that's a perfect deal. That's more than I would pay him. He's a great person, but he's 29. He's not a fast receiver. He's not going to separate. He's not going to beat top flight cornerbacks. You're not paying him 20, 25 million like he probably wants. And you know what? He's got one of the best agents in the business, Drew Rosenhaus. That boy's about to get him paid on a team that is going to throw money at players. They want free agents. They want, Tennessee with Robert Saleh. He's the Tennessee boy. He's probably going home, and he's going to be Cam Ward's reliable safety blanket, and that would be great for Cam Ward. He needs a guy that's reliable who can catch on third down and get first down. And he might have a great season with Tennessee, but for the Niners, they need speed. They need a guy on the outside that can exploit, top flight cornerback. Listen, I was watching the NFC Championship game just like everybody else, and I'm sitting there watching JSN and Puka Nacua put on a damn show. And I'm sitting there going, the Niners need a guy like that. We do not have a guy that can separate and just put on a show. I mean, it was unbelievable. It was JSN and Puka going back and forth, back to back, throwing bows at each other, like crazy catch. What a play. Unbelievable. And the Niners, they don't have a guy like that. They could have maybe with BA, but we all know what happened with that. Ricky Prasad can't see the field. And I love Juwan Jennings, but he's not putting up that type of performance consistently. He's done it a few times, but consistently, JJ's not doing it. And I love the guy, but I would let him walk if he wants 20 mil, which is his market value. They're saying they're projecting it to be 22 million a year. There's no way I'm paying him that much. If he gets that much on the market, congratulations, Juwan Jennings. You are a rich man. I'm not paying him that much.
I mean, and they're that's fine. If he wants his money now, you know what? You only have so many years to make your money, and if he wants that, then that's fine. We don't got nothing but love for you, but we just don't got nothing. We don't got endless cash.
We don't have 22 million for you, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, it's not happening. And if the Niners go in that direction, I think they're crazy. Now, they are crazier if what Chase Sr. was talking about today is reality. He was talking about there's talk, and I saw a couple rumblings of this. I haven't seen anything that I would call a legitimate rumor, right? But there's talk that Deebo Samuel, who doesn't probably have a burgeoning market, he's a free agent, that the Niners may bring him back.
Please don't.
All I would say is, you know what? If you're bringing him back, then that tells me you're all out of ideas.
Yeah.
Because if you're this year in camp, every time somebody went down, they signed somebody they used to have. And it's like, wait a second. Do you guys have any new opinions, or are you just leaning on Kyle Shanahan's recollection from 3 years ago? And it's like, I've pushed back against the people who are like, Kyle makes every move. And I've said, well, they got a personnel department. I don't think Kyle makes every move. But this year, every single time somebody got hurt in training camp, they brought in, here comes some scrubini who used to play for them. Do they need Kendrick Bourne, another slow fucking receiver? No, but they went
at that point though, Larry, they were desperate. They had to get something.
They've got the wrong guy. They should have went for Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks had speed. Brandon Cooks is grew up a Niner fan, but they don't, they didn't have any working knowledge of Brandon Cooks, so they went to Bourne. Bourne's slow. Bourne's molasses.
They knew they could get. They were in a desperate situation. So I don't blame them for that one. But you're right. They did get a lot of scrubini, slow dude. Like that's the whole point of this offseason, is what I'm saying is they need to get some speed. If you get Debo Samuel, listen, and I'm one of Debo's biggest like fanboy. Me and Debo, we go way back. Me and him used to message each other. Like he followed the page. Debo's cool with me. He's great in my book. But in the big 2026, you bring back Debo Samuel to this roster when you need speed and you need a true number one that we just talked about, JSN Puka type guy. Yeah, that's a disservice to this franchise, to this team. And I love Debo, but you're not bringing him back to be your number one receiver. Are you kidding me? Just please don't. I've seen the rumors. I think a lot of people are posting it because it does get a lot of engagement. I get it. Please do not. If you're Kyle Shanahan, do not bring back Debo Samuel to the 49ers. Just don't do it.
Go find the next Debo. And I'm going to give you a candidate here. I kind of like, this is Dylan Bell. Okay. I don't know. Did I show? I didn't do this yet. So let me show it to you. Let me share the screen. This is the Georgia receiver who wasn't, it's just like Georgia has a ton of guys, but this guy never got any pub, but he's got great talent and he's got a little bit of a Debo build. He's kind of thicker in the lower body, not as thick as Debo. It's twisting and turning. I don't know if I can play this highlight. Here, I'll go back. Wait, no, there's another one of him here. Dylan Bell is one of my favorite guys. Let me see if I can locate him.
Taylor doesn't play.
He's a really talented receiver. Here he is. You can see it, right?
Okay, yeah. We good. We cooking now.
Now this is in the East West Shrine practices in Frisco, Texas, and this guy has got talent, and he made big plays in big games for Georgia, even though they have other guys and hire recruits and this and that. But he's thick, and he's kind of like a gadget guy. He can run some of the stuff around the line of scrimmage. If you really want to have the Debo type, chess piece, go get this guy. This is a day 3 guy. This guy's going to be in the 6th round, most likely, maybe the late 5th, depending on how he runs in the 40. But I mean, you can see he's got scoot. He's got ability. He just ran right by this North Carolina corner. Just gave him a little shimmy, and then he's down the sidelines. He's got good tracking skills over the top of his head. That's a nice catch. That's a nice catch. Dylan Bell would be my answer to the people who are like, you know what, get Debo back. No, don't get Debo back. Go for somebody who can actually move a little bit and whose best football. I mean, here's the thing about JJ and Debo. They've already played their best ball.
I agree.
They're not going to get better. You've gotten the best out of those guys. And it's just simple as that. All right. So I'm not a fan of going backwards for Debo. I'm definitely not a fan of overpaying for JJ. And I think the Niners got themselves in trouble, to be completely honest, Raj, with the way they kind of we got to have Ayuk. We got to have Debo. This desperation. They're acting like these are the only receivers left in the universe. And it's like, no, dude. Sorry, Kyle. I know you love these guys, but coaching careers last longer than playing careers. So you are always going to be around longer than them. So you got to be ready to cut the cord. And the Niners are very reluctant to do that. Now, we should tell you 49er football season is presented all season long by Sleeper, the fastest growing fantasy platform in the world. It's a one-stop shop. You get blazing fast news, real-time stats, group chat, season-long leagues, and, of course, Sleeper picks for daily fantasy. Use promo code Larry, and Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $100. Links in the description. Terms and conditions do apply. And thanks to Sleeper for being a proud sponsor of the Kreuger Show. All right, let's put together a Sleeper lineup here for the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 60. The Pats and the Hawks. Who do you want to go with there? Who do you feel? Do you have conviction on any player's individual stats for Super Bowl 60?
Let's look up JSN real quick before we go to this, Larry.
Yeah,
I hit 2 out of 3 of my. I've been cooking this week, but this year was sleeper. But my last one during the NFC Championship game, I was cooking that week. I was so close. The one I missed was a $10 for $1,070 payout. It was a 6-leg parlay and sleeper. It was crazy. The only one that missed was Kenneth Walker. Everything else was hitting. I was like going crazy. You had Puka anytime, JSN anytime. I think Kenneth Walker anytime. Sack from Lawrence, a sack from Verse. The only one that missed was Kenneth Walker. He needed 49 yards, and they took him out in the fourth. He got 39 yards. I was so sick. And then Blake Corum was getting the rock at the end, and I was just like, "Are you kidding me? $1,000."
What's your favorite JSN here? Do you like the 94.5 receiving yards?
I like anytime touchdown. He's gonna score a touchdown. They're throwing him the rock in the.
All right, let's go anytime touchdown there. I like that. It's you got to remember it's going to be a fast surface, probably going to be good weather. I mean, we don't know, but Northern California could rain, but I let's go with Darnold. Let's see what Darnold. Now Darnold's coming off a really good game, but this is a very good New England defense.
Good defense, yeah.
And they've got a really good secondary. So I like Darnold to throw an interception.
Oh,
I think Darnold.
See the ghost?
Yeah, he has not thrown any in the playoffs. I think he throws one in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So I'm going to say more on the half a pick. And
what about Kenneth Walker's been cooking in these playoffs?
Let's check out Kenneth Walker. K9. Let's see what K9's got cooking. I do think K9 is going to struggle because New England's good against the run.
They're a good run D.
They're a very good run D. It's a 73.5 number on the rush yards. 19.5 rush attempts. That seems like a high number. How's his receiving totals?
You kind of check the game log real quick. I feel like he's been hitting them. I feel like they hit him with the screen every once in a while. Didn't he get a receiving touchdown? When you see him, you see the game log thing on the top.
Oh, wait. I can find it here. I got a game.
You're looking at it where you see the little box. Just tap game log on the top. Game log.
Game log. Okay.
Game log. Do you see it?
Oh, yeah. There it is.
And then you can look up his statisticals there.
What do you see?
So receptions. So you got 49, 29, 38, 6, 64. So in the playoffs, he's had 3 games with at least 29 receiving yards.
And what's the number?
Go back.
73, wasn't it?
No. Receiving yards was...
Oh, rush yards, 73. Receiving yards, 21.5. I like that. You like receiving yards or you like the combo yards?
I'd take the receiving. I think they might try to hit him on a little like screen slant, something like that.
I like that. More on the receiving yards for K9. I think I like Barner. Let's take a look at Barner. I think Barner is kind of an underrated guy.
Oh.
To me, he's really interesting. I like Barner with more than 2.5 receptions. 3 receptions gets you over. I think Barner is good. So let's go more on Barner. How many we got there?
Is that 3 or 4? Is that 4?
All right.
What about defense? Hold on. Oh, we got all Seahawks. We got to pick a Patriot. Let's go to
Patriot. Who do you like?
Drake May. Go Drake May.
Okay.
What we got?
37.5 rush yards, 222.5 pass yards, 1.5 passing touchdowns. I kind of like the pick almost.
You think he throws a pick? That's a say. Yeah, I think.
Seattle's been really good. Yeah. Well, what do you think? Or what do you think? Is he going to throw it 31 times?
I don't think he's thrown that many times.
Yeah,
unless they're down at the end.
No, they're not. No. This is going to be more of a grinded out game. This game's
going to be a tough
game. I like under 31.5 pass attempts because I think New England's got a good chance to win. I think they'll be running it in the second half, not passing it. So I like that. Let's go more or less. Yeah,
less than 30 attempts.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's check it out. Now let's see.
Let's see. What do we got?
We're betting 10. So we need Darnold to throw a pick. We got 10 to win 163-60. Darnold has to throw a pick. Walker's got to have 22 receiving yards. JSN's got to have a touchdown. Barner's got to have 3 receptions, and Drake May's got to have 30 or less pass attempts.
I think we cooked.
I think that's pretty good. I like that one. 10 to win 163-60. All right. Thanks to Sleeper for being a proud sponsor of the Kreuger Show. We're loving Sleeper. Once again, you get 10% match up to $100. Use code Larry. And thanks to Sleeper for being a proud sponsor of the Kreuger Show. The link's in the description. Terms and conditions do apply. And thanks to Sleeper for being a great sponsor of the Kreuger Show all season long. All right, let's hit a couple more things before we get out of here. There was a story today that kind of surprised me. I wasn't expecting it because it was kind of a story that kind of broke, and we don't even know, it's not even verified at this point, but there is talk that Ari Myrov of the 33rd team put this out. He says, from an ESPN report, I might as well just share the screen. You can see the report that I'm reading here. Here it is. There's this report from ESPN report. Bill Polian was a vocal figure in the Hall of Fame deliberations involving Bill Belichick, with Spygate and Deflategate coming up among voters during the discussions. Per a voter who spoke anonymously, Polian, the former Bills and Colts GM and longtime Pats rival, told some voters he believed Belichick should, quote, wait a year as penance for Spygate, where they taped another team's sideline. Polian carries a lot of weight, and there's talk today that that Belichick is not going to get into the Hall of Fame. Now, from a Niner perspective, this might mean that Roger Craig gets into the Hall of Fame because there's limits to the number of people that you can vote for. And if somehow Bill is not getting in, but I mean, my God, this guy's a 3-time coach of the year. He's won 8 Super Bowls. 6 as a head coach, 2 as an assistant coach. Come on, man. I mean, come on, Bill Polian. I mean, that's ridiculous. I hate message sending. I hate that. So now he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer because of Spygate and Deflategate, and I mean, come on, man. I'm not with that.
The Colts were a big rival. Like he probably did say something. Now I know. There was other reports later. They said that Polian said, "Oh no, I voted for him." Everybody's coming out and saying, "No, I voted."
Nobody wants to own it.
Nobody wants to own it up. But he probably had something to do with it because the Colts and the Patriots rivalry was crazy. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, crybabies. They got mad. But listen, I'm not a Patriots fan, but Bill Belichick not being a first ballot Hall of Fame is crazy to me. Because if he's not, Larry, who the hell is the first ballot Hall of Fame? Like, that's crazy to me.
And it's like, wait a second, Bill Polian, you're going to say you worked for Jim Irsay. And the late Jim Irsay was hardly a perfect person. This guy had all kinds of issues. I don't want to speak about it. I'm not going to speak ill of the dead, but I mean, come on. But it does open the door for Roger Craig or Frank Gore or both. What's your thought if it came right down to it? If you absolutely could only have one or the other, who gets your Hall of Fame? Who's more deserving of your Hall of Fame vote? Do you want to see Roger go in before Frank? He's older than Frank. Do you want to see Frank go in before Roger? I mean, Frank tore both ACLs at Miami and then went on, had an amazing career. 3rd leading rusher all time. He can go scoreboard, but Roger can go scoreboard. Roger at his best was better than Frank. I mean, Roger was the offensive player of the year in the league in 1988. He did 1,000 the first time, but all the rules have been changed to help offense. And yet still here we are, 2026. It's Roger, it's Marshall Faulk, and it's Christian McCaffrey. Those are the only guys that have ever done it. So I don't know, man. I want to see Roger Craig put in the Hall. I would vote for Roger Craig over Frank Gore. I kind of feel like, I want Frank in and Frank's going to be in. Yeah. I'm a little bit more concerned that Craig's not going to get in And so I want to see Craig get in. And if I could choose, I think I'd rather have Craig in first and then Frank.
I agree with that. I was going to say the same thing, because if Roger Craig doesn't get in now, he's never getting in, Larry, and he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Like, this man should already been in the Hall of Fame. This man was the first dual threat running back. Like, before there was a even term for it, it was Roger Craig. Like, he invented the thousand season. Like, this guy, he was the guy that started it all, right? You said Marshall Faulk, you said Christian McCaffrey, you forgot LaDainian Tomlinson. Like, those guys you think of are like dual threat. Oh my God, catch the ball, run the ball. Like, nobody did it until like before Roger Craig. Like, he revolutionized running back. And I love Frank Gore, and I think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He'll get in there. But if Bill Belichick is not a first ballot Hall of Fame, I don't think they're going to let Frank Gore be a first ballot Hall of Fame, although he should be number 3 in rushing yards, longevity. The man tore both of his ACLs, comes into the league, and he just was unbelievable. Like, the yards he racked up every year and the amount of years he was able to play after the knee injuries just shows how much of a hard worker he was. And it's crazy because there was a point where Frank Gore was literally the only offense the 49ers had. Like, he was their only good player. You knew he was getting the ball, and he'd still run for 100 yards on your ass. Like, it was amazing. Like, he's a great player, but I think if I had to choose one of those guys, I'm putting in Roger Craig, because if he doesn't get in now, he's never getting in. And I hate to say it, he deserves it.
Frank Gore has my total respect. The Iron Man that he was as a player is incredible. But Roger Craig, you could argue, was the best player on the best Niner team that ever was. The 84 Niners were arguably their greatest team. They only lost one time. They totally dominated. They beat Marino in the Super Bowl. He scored 3 touchdowns in that Super Bowl. He's the first running back to score 3 touchdowns in a Super Bowl, but they gave the MVP to Joe. Not that Joe didn't deserve it, but Roger deserved it more. Yeah. I mean, Joe got it in 88. Roger deserved it. I mean, Jerry deserved it more. Joe got it in 84, but Roger deserved it more. But a lot of times these things go to quarterbacks, and I just think that, like Mike Viertel says here, both, but Craig. You know, if it comes, I want them both, but come on, Roger Craig. We got this one. D24 vid. Craig fumbling away the 3-peat in the NFC Championship game is worse than Deflategate.
Maybe that could be why he's not in the Hall. Like, I think
it's not worse than Deflategate.
Honestly, Larry,
cheating is worse than a guy who tried his hardest and fumbled.
He blew the 3-peat, Larry.
Yeah, but he didn't intentionally fumble. I mean,
do you understand
Deflategate? I mean, first of all, those things can't be compared. But yes, Roger belongs in. And I've done events with Roger, and Roger's just a class act,
nice
man.
Guy. Yeah,
and have you met him?
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, I mean, I've told him, I said, Roger, man, there's very few things that I'm really passionate about when it comes to accolades and that kind of thing, but I am passionate about Roger Craig being in the NFL Hall of Fame, and I want it. I've wanted it for years. I will go to Canton if he makes it. I badly want it. Yeah, somebody said, fuck the fumble. It's football. Yeah, seriously. Somebody said his fumble shattered dreams. Get over it. Get over it. Hey, most of you guys probably weren't even alive. I actually bought a T-shirt about 3 weeks before that game that said, "We will three-peat."
You jinked that. So it's your fault.
It's my fault.
That's why they're not. You jinxed it. You shouldn't have bought that shirt. That's like getting a tattoo of Super Bowl trophy on you. That you literally jinxed it, Larry.
Yeah, I jinxed it. Sorry, Niner fans. Otherwise, you'd have another ring. All right, one area that when the Niners won their last Super Bowl. It was 1994. They had an amazing team. It was the first year of free agency. And why did the Niners have an amazing team? Eddie D. Simple as that. Eddie D took care of his players. He took care of his players' wives and girlfriends. He lavished tons of gifts on them for birthdays, took teams on trips, traveled with jumbo jets, traveled ahead of time, first class all the way. If he could spend $1 or $2 on his team, he spent $2. And if he could spend $4, he spent $4. And he could spend $6, he'd spend $6. And so when it got to free agency in 1994, for those of you who are maybe a little on the younger side, The Niners they dominated the first year of free agency. Why? Because everybody wanted to play for Eddie D. Mm-hmm. It was more than Joe. It was more than Steve. It was Eddie D. And then Dion came, and Jackson came, and Dent came, and Plummer came, and Norton came, and they all of a sudden all these guys showed up, and they showed up because the Niners were synonymous with Eddie D spending, and that was their advantage back then. Now the NFL has changed the rules, and the salary cap has hit, and you can't just spend endlessly in a lot of areas. You still can in certain areas, but if Eddie D ran the Niners right now, he would probably be doing the same thing that he always did, which was trying to spend more than other teams. Mm-hmm. So I kind of wonder, would the Niners have bought Spags away from Kansas City 3 years ago and given him 4 times his salary to be their defensive coordinator? I think he may have done that. Absolutely. That wouldn't have surprised me. But the Niners in 2026 also have a distinct advantage on every other team in the NFL. And we don't talk about it a whole lot because it's just recently popped up. And what's their advantage now? They are the team that guys want to play for to be a reclamation quarterback, right? Mm. Sam Darnold was a nothing, and now he's potentially a Super Bowl winner and the Super Bowl MVP. He's favored to win the Super Bowl MVP. Yeah. And he reclaimed his career here in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. And then what did Mac Jones do this year? The same damn thing. He reclaimed his career. And not only that, the Niners gave Mac a 2-year deal. So now they have the ability to trade Mac for what looks to be probably a pretty good price. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the Niners got a 2nd-round pick and Jordan Addison. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they got Michael Mayer from the Raiders and a 2nd-round pick, or if they got Michael Wilson from Arizona and a 2nd-round pick. I really think there's a very good chance the Niners are going to get a very nice price if they want to move Mac Jones. They are the reclamation quarterback team because of Kyle, because of Brock, and because of Darnold and now Mac Jones. So I really believe that the Niners need to lean into this. They've decided to go with Brock Purdy. They're not going with Mac Jones. They're going with Brock Purdy. That's fine. Trade Mac Jones. And then what I would do is I'd turn around and sign another reclamation project quarterback, and I would keep doing it every year, trying to keep flip and make them. Say to Zach Wilson wants to be here, Anthony Richardson wants to be here, whoever it is, Davis Mills wants to be here, somebody wants to be here, Marcus Mariota wants to be here. You can be here. 2-year deal. No 1-year deals, 2-year deal. You play for us for a year, and then because you went to Kyle Shanahan, rebuild your rep school, you give us a 2nd year so we can trade you. That's the deal. And if I were the Niners, Zach Wilson, Anthony Richardson, you name it. I mean, I don't know who it's going to be, but I would do that again and then try to do it again and then try to do it again. And then you get enough 2nd and 3rd and 4th round picks for reclamation project quarterbacks. You do that every year for a few years, you're gonna catch back up to Seattle. You're gonna catch back up to the Rams. You're gonna catch back up to the best drafting teams in pro football. Use the reclamation project quarterback to your advantage. Right now, I think that's your edge. That is your current edge. Do you agree?
I agree. At the end of the day, the Niners really are a factory of turning around these quarterbacks' careers. Just take advantage of it. Like, at the end of the day, if it works, don't just keep doing it. That's what the NFL is about. Like, you have a play that people can't stop. You keep running it till they stop it. If someone is able to turn these quarterbacks and change their lives around and make them a starter, take advantage of it. Because you're right, Mac Jones is going to get a good draft pick. Look what they did to Sam Darnold. And now let's say they trade Mac. I don't want to trade him because we know the insurance policy he was vital to this season later. Like, without Mac Jones, the Niners don't make it as far as they do, 100%. And we know Brock's dealt with injuries through his career, and I would hate to lose Mac because we know he could step right in and win games. But I think Kyle can continue to find another guy that can do that. If you miss a few games, you can get a guy, plug and play, get the wins, and then that's going to make him look good, and then he's going to become a starter in the league, and he'll get a lot of money. He'll be happy, turn it into a pick. So 100% I would do it. But the whole point is you got to find the right guy, and that's the key. But Niners have been lucky, man. Sam Darnold, unbelievable. You know, he was a high draft pick. People gave up on him, and now look at him. He's, you know, he says he owes a lot to Brock Purdy. Mac Jones, the same thing. He says, man, Brock was the guy. He really taught me so much. So as long as we got Brock Purdy walking through those doors, he's going to really help these young quarterbacks. And that's the great thing about Brock. Like, he doesn't take any, you know, hate or shade, or he doesn't see it as like, man, they're trying to replace me. He was that guy a couple years back. He was the third quarterback. He was trying to make his name, and he worked hard. So he knows the mindset of another guy that's coming in to just learn the game and try to restart his career. And that was Brock. He never got a lot of chances, right? He finally got an opportunity, and he took it, and he's going to help all these quarterbacks that come into that room and make them better, and maybe they'll get a job one day. So,
well, and have a conversation with these guys, you know, whether it's Zach Wilson or Mariota or whoever it's going to be. You just have a conversation. Hey, it's Brock's job. It's going to be Brock's job. Okay, so if that's going to be a problem, then don't come here. And you got to sign for 2 years, and that means that we build you up, but that means we also get to trade you. And then we're going to trade you in a year, and we'll try to send you somewhere good, but we're going to get what we want. We're going to get, and that's the trade-off. And if you're down for it, Mariota, Zach Wilson, whomever, I think Anthony Richardson will be really intriguing.
I don't like Anthony Richardson. I know you're a big guy. I'm not.
I just think he's super talented. I mean, look how big he is. Look how fast he is. If you put Anthony Richardson in the Niners system, I mean, you telling me that he couldn't do it? I bet you he could.
He quit in a game midway. Like I don't think he has it in the NFL. I watched him a lot in college. I don't know.
I hear you. But it's a little bit of a projection.
It is. I get it. I know you're a big AR guy. I'm not. Maybe you're right. Maybe
I really am.
If Kyle Shanahan can fix those guys, maybe he can fix him. But again, I agree. And the whole thing is, it's a win-win for both parties. Because if you're like Mac Jones, he was written off. Nobody thought he was ever going to be worth the damn in this league. Comes to the Niners. His end of the season interview was amazing, because he says, I came here just to like restart my career and, you know, learn football and, you know, just get a chance and, you know, find my passion. And so he says, I got a PhD in football. Like, the amount of stuff that he learned was so valuable for him. So that's what it was, like a ringing endorsement for quarterbacks. If you are lost out there, come to the Niners, regardless of the electrical substation. Come here and we will fix your career if you're a quarterback. Like, that was a great endorsement for the 49ers for Mac Jones. I love that guy, and I hope that he stays around, but he deserves a starting quarterback job in the league. And then Sam Darnold too. He did too. You know what? Look at what he did with Minnesota last year. Look what I hate Seattle, but you can't take anything away from Sam Darnold. The guy's been unbelievable. So yeah, get the right guy, build him up, let Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan, you know, do their thing. And I love it. I love that the Niners are able to do this now. So I'm just, now if we do trade Mac, I want to know who the next quarterback's going to be, because I remember when they got Sam Darnold, I was like, oh my God. And then when they got Mac, I was like, oh my God, what are we doing? But I'm so happy that the Niners did both of those, looking back at it.
Oh, no question. No question. And it's their edge right now. Do they have an edge? They don't have Eddie D, and the rules have changed. But what they do have is Shanahan, Purdy, and they are the face of reclamation project quarterbacks. And I think they ought to lean into it and use it as a building advantage to try to get ahead of the rest of the league. All right, let's go. We'll finish with 3 quick hitters. I'm just going to give you, A or B, and you just give me what you think. If it came down to Raheem Morris or Gus Bradley for the defensive coordinator, who do you want?
Raheem Morris next. No doubt about it.
Raheem Morris. Okay. I'm okay with either. I think Bradley, for continuity purposes, could be good. I like Bradley. I think Bradley did a really good job this year. I mean, they were far better in the red zone than they were out of the red zone. That was his area of running the defense. He ran the red zone defense. All the players I talked to about Gus Bradley were like, dude, he's an OG. He's amazing. I've learned so much. Jair Brown, Demo Lenore, Darrell Luter, these guys all, to a man, swore by Gus Bradley. Now, I'm not saying that that's the final line, but you know what? I do listen to the players to some degree. Okay, how about this one? Pats or Hawks? Who wins Super Bowl 60?
I'm rolling with the Patriots because I don't want to see Seattle celebrate on Levi Stadium. NFC West rival. Are you kidding me? I can't watch that. But because the whole story is going to be, oh, they left their cigars in the locker room and now they're celebrating with the same cigars they used. Listen, I already know the story. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see the Seahawks because they'll never stop talking if they win a Super Bowl in Seattle. So I'm pulling for the Patriots. I think they're going to win.
You know, I'm pulling for the Patriots as well. I think it's going to be a low-scoring defensive slog, and I like the Patriots to win as well. Now, I will say this. You know how there's always topics in Super Bowl week that become topics, and I think a topic that's going to be born out of this Super Bowl is that the Seahawks are going to see for the very first time. I don't know if you read this. The Patriots are the home team. The Seahawks are the road team. So I thought the Patriots were going to have the Niners locker room and the Hawks were going to have the visiting locker room. But no, the Hawks are going to have the Niners locker room and the Patriots are going to be in the visitors locker room. And I don't know why they made that determination or how they made that determination.
Interesting.
But Raj, let me tell you, as somebody who's been in both the Niners home locker room and the Niners visiting locker room, I guarantee you we're going to hear about that. Because the Seahawks have never been inside the Niner locker room. They've only been in the road locker room. The road locker room, Raj, is it's like a pantry. It's got low ceilings. It's cramped. It's really, really, really cramped. The home locker room, it's like a airplane hangar. I mean, it's just a gigantic room with 100-foot ceilings.
Wow.
I mean, you know, it's got to be 3-4 times the size of the visitor locker room. So I bet you anything we're going to hear about that. Just a guess. I think they're going to see that locker room. They may not see it till game day, but somebody's going to be like, dude, the home locker room's a million times better than the road locker room.
Nice.
All right.
Did you see about the practice schedule? Neither of them are training in the 49ers practice facility. They're staying far away from the electrical substation. Yeah, both. I think one of them is going to practice. I think that the Seahawks are practicing on San Jose State, and then I think the Patriots are practicing in Stanford. So both of them are not going to be. They're like, we don't want to take any chances with the electrical substation.
That's unbelievable. I wonder if it was the team's choice. Tonight, by the way, Jerry Rice, Steve Young, and Joe Montana got together for the official screening of Rise of the 49ers. Which is an AMC and AMC Plus documentary that looks amazing on the Niners. I cannot wait to see that. It just makes me happy to see these guys together. It's an incredible thing. And, you know, I'll say in addition to that, there's also a great cut here that we're going to play you from Mr. D, who had this to say earlier today. Earlier this evening. Here we go. A little Eddie D right here. There we go. And here it is. Here it is. Oh, wait a second. I got to turn up the volume. There we go. All right. Try it again. Take two. Eddie D.
I think it's important that they can see what happened and the legacy that was created. The great players that we had, who are all still dear friends of mine. And I think this really, really helps. I hope it also helps the present day 49ers. If they can see this and watch it and see what we were able to do, I think it will help them because they've had some great teams. They've just sort of been unlucky, if you want to call it that. They had their injuries and everything. They've been to 2 Super Bowls. I thought they were going to go this year, but I think this will help them too.
Love that.
Sorry about that. It was great to hear Eddie D there, and he is getting up there in age, and he's slowing down a little bit. He still has great hair. He looks great. He was, it's always good to hear him. No question that Eddie D, is the most beloved member of the 49er organization. Absolutely. All right, so we'll finish with this. Since the Rise of the 49ers documentary will be debuting this week, and people will get a chance to see all about the great era of the 49ers, And believe me, I lived it, man. I was a kid in the 70s. Raj, I mean, we'd come home. People would call on Sunday morning. Hey, do you want tickets to the game? Hey, you want tickets to the game? It was like a regular thing as a little kid. 7, 8, 9 years old, 77, 78, 79. Hey, you guys want to go to the Niner game? We got extra tickets. I mean, people were offering their tickets to us every single Sunday. And we never, after 1981, we never got another call again. I mean, seriously, nobody ever gave up their tickets ever again after 1981 because it was the hottest ticket in town. So it's an amazing documentary. I've already seen some of the clips. Tom Brady narrates it. I am really excited about that. By the way, I do believe Tom Brady is him and Burkhardt are absolutely phenomenal. Yeah. I can't believe how good Tom Brady is as a broadcaster. He's gotten a lot better. He's gotten better. He's so much better.
When he first started, it was like, I don't know, but he found his voice and he's like studied. I think he went because he took a lot of criticism. And I think he realized, he's all right, because he wants to be good at anything he does. That's Tom Brady. He's like, all right, I fucking suck. I took the L. He probably studied his his commentary like through the off season. He tried to get better. And he was so good this year. He was so good.
So good. Oh, dude, I can't even tell you. I really think Brady and Burkhardt are just a really great team.
Yeah.
All right. So since Rise of the Niners, let's finish with this. I want 2 names from you. Give me your favorite Niner star, and give me a random favorite 49er that's not a star. And if you guys are in the chat, do the same. Who is your favorite Niners star and your favorite Niners non-star of all time?
My favorite Niner star, Steve Young. That was my guy. I loved him. I loved Steve Young growing up. I mean, everybody's Joe Montana. My dad was the Joe Montana guy, but I always saw, it's like, Steve needs his chance. Steve needs his chance. And then, boom, he got the monkey off the back. The last time the Niners won the Super Bowl, Steve Young, he was the guy. He led the team, 6 touchdowns. Like, that's always been my guy. I love Steve Young. That's my favorite Niner of all time.
That's a good one. So that's your star.
Random player, not star or anything.
Non-star. I mean, it doesn't have to be a practice squad guy or anything. It could be a very good player. Just not a. The Niners have Hall of Famers and some mega stars and that kind of thing. Who's your favorite non-Niners star?
Well, I mean, he was a star in his own right, but people forget about him. He was so under. I liked Anquan Bolden. You remember Anquan Bolden? Like that man.
I had a great relationship with Anquan Bolden. He was a very serious guy.
I remember he was great as a Cardinal. He always cooked us. And I was like, God, I wish we ever. And then he goes to Baltimore, whooped us in the Super Bowl, and then he comes to the Niners, and he was such a reliable player. And the crazy part was because that was like some dark years when Bolden was on the team. For the most part, it was like really bad years for the most part. And it was like the one guy you knew you could count on was Anquan freaking Bolden. That man would catch everything. I loved Anquan Bolden, man. That was one of my favorite players that doesn't get a lot of hype. He didn't play for the Niners for a lot of years, but when he played with the Niners, man, he was Mr. Dependable. He was so good.
A lot of names in the chat here. Okay, I'm going to go my favorite Niner star, and he wasn't a mega star, but he was a star. Dwight Clark. I'm a Dwight Clark guy, man. I got to know Dwight Clark. I got to play golf with Dwight Clark. I got to do events with Dwight Clark. I sat at a Giants game at Oracle Park in the KMBR luxury suite next to Dwight Clark for a random game. I forget what year it was. And he told me that he listened to my show all the time.
Oh, wow.
And I thought, okay, it's what you say, right? It's just something you say. But then he started quoting callers. Hey, the other day, when you had that guy and you had this guy and he called up and he was like, he was asking about that Giant trade and you were like, that's the most unrealistic trade of all time. I was floored, dude, because I was an 11-year-old little boy in 1981. Dwight was larger than life. He made the catch. I got to go to the Super Bowl parade to then get to meet Dwight, know Dwight, do stuff with Dwight. Dwight's like, you're really good. I mean, I was like, oh my God. I was like, Dwight, I could die and go to heaven right now. It's like sitting here with one of my childhood heroes and he's telling me that he likes my radio show.
That's awesome.
It got no better. Like there's very few things that I'm like, God, that was fucking cool. But that was cool. So DC, I miss you, brother. Seriously. One of the greats, man. One of the greats. My favorite non-star Niner, and I've got a few, but somebody had it here in the chat. Let me see if I can find it here. My favorite non-star Niner. I do love BY, but he was a star too. BY's a class act, man. Such a class act. I shook hands with him a couple weeks ago in the press box. BY's daughter and my niece play on the same volleyball team on the peninsula. And I'm like, hey, BY, my niece plays on your daughter's volleyball team. And he goes to the games. He had met all the girls. I mean, bright young dude. I mean, just as solid gets, right? BY. But my favorite non-star Niner, I loved bar none.
Oh yeah. William, I was thinking he was one of the guys I was thinking William Floyd was dope. Yeah.
Bar none. And William Floyd, I don't know why I loved him, but he was so violent on the goal line. He would just run right through you. He was just an unbelievable. There it is. We suck again, says William Floyd.
Yeah, he was good.
Bar none, man. There was just something about his violence, his intensity, the edge that he gave, the toughness that he gave the 49ers offense. He was fearless. I loved bar none William Floyd.
Yeah,
all right. Let's hit some supers. We got 8 of them, and we'll bolt for the door. We got this one from Brucer 1475. Would love the Niners to draft Caleb Downs. So that's a great one. If somehow they could get up in the first round and get Caleb Downs, I think he is a difference-making safety for sure. What tale my thoughts will tell. The 49ers got to get younger and faster, particularly on offense, while addressing depth on the D-line. What is your opinion of Oregon's tight end Kenyon Sadiq and Clemson's defensive tackle Peter Woods? Well, Peter Woods about 6'3", 310. He's a real good pass rusher, very athletic. I like Peter Woods. I don't think he's a first-round pick. I think he's more of a second-round pick, but a lot of people really like him. Kenyon Sadiq reminds me a ton of Vernon Davis. He's big and fast. But also like Vernon Davis, doesn't have the greatest instincts. You know what I mean? He's big and fast and really athletic. He's going in the first round for sure.
He's good.
But I think he's a little bit more of a workout guy than he is a great player. That would be my thought. 62 Chad says, I just watched Jeremy Bernard highlights. Kyle will not be able to resist Debo reincarnated in better shape. Jeremy Bernard. You know what Jeremy Bernard reminds me of? Anquan Bolden. Oh
man, get him. Well, and that was a lot of people said Debo was like an Anquan Bolden in a way.
Yeah. All these guys are very similar. Very powerful.
Similar, yeah. Powerful wide receiver, just like thick wide receiver. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Look at this one. Look at this. Kid Tricksta is in the house. I have a lot of draft questions, but Toledo wide receiver Mike Oxlong is the truth.
Kid Trickster.
That's almost as bad as Just the Tip.
No, it's not as bad as Just the Tip. That was the one. That
was
the best.
Oxlong.
My Oxlong is crazy work. Kid Trickster. You know what? You gotta love it. He spent $5 to make the joke. Like
that's awesome.
I love it.
Mike Oxlong. I'll have to go look for Mike Oxlong. Oh, there you go. AirPod says, have Debo tell John to lock in. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, lock in, buddy.
Bring back Tabor Pepper. Anthony Catania's in the house. He was a great follow on Instagram. And Anthony Catania at Sharp Corners Sports Cards and Collectibles. They're at 205 Cypress Avenue in Pacific Grove, California, along the Monterey Peninsula. Give Anthony a call. He's at 831-521-5264 or connect with him via Instagram, Sharp Corners 831 on the gram, as the kids would say. Anthony says, hope all is well, guys. Another great show. I hope the Niners build a fortress for Purdy this offseason.
Same.
No doubt. You got to build him an offensive line. Hugh Jassel would Justin Hugh Jassel. Would Justin Fields be a good reclamation quarterback?
Oh God.
Probably.
No.
I'll say this about Justin Fields. He does not see it. And he does not throw with any anticipation at all. The window has to be open, and then he has to see it open, and then he'll throw it. And by then, the window closes. Yeah. So what happens is he's fine from the 30. He's fine from his goal line to the 30, but he's shitty in the red zone because the windows are small. You got to throw with anticipation, and he can't. So,
it's crazy. I wanted Justin Fields. That when they were drafting Trey Lance, everybody wanted Justin Fields, but looks like he was not the one. I'd honestly, this is crazy, and you probably would say that. I'd probably take Zach Wilson over Justin Fields as a reclamation project.
No doubt. He's better.
Which is crazy to me.
I mean, Justin Fields is good talent-wise. He's accurate. He can run. He's got 4.4 flat speed, but he doesn't see it. He doesn't see the field.
Doesn't see it. Yeah.
JC, New York 49er. Kyle Shanahan rarely plays rookie skill position guys. Trade, use free agency for offensive holes. Use the draft for the O-line and the D-line holes. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Well, I do. I do agree that but you still got to have, you're not going to be able to buy a tight end, a wide receiver, and a running back that without spending real money. So I don't know. I think one of those needs you're probably going to have to fill in the draft. I would say tight end, I would want to fill in free agency. Wide receiver, I think I would try to fill in free agency. Romeo Doubs, Wan'Dale Robinson, Alec Pierce. I agree. I agree. Basically, there's still guys at skill position players I would draft, but I do kind of agree with you.
Tight end, who we getting? You want Kyle Pitts?
I'm good with Kyle Pitts. I'm good with I like Kyle Pitts a lot. I like Isaiah Likely a lot.
Isaiah Likely what about Njoku from Cleveland? Is he a free agent or is he
a little stiff? Yeah, no, he's a free agent. I'll tell you where I think the tight end could come in is if the Niners have to move Mac Jones because there's all kinds of good tight ends out there that you could probably get. Like, I was looking at the list. I mean, Michael Mayer. If you trade Mac Jones to the Raiders, I think Michael Mayer would be a good guy to get back. Okay. There was somebody was like Trey McBride. They're not trading Trey McBride.
No way. You kidding me? There's no way.
There's another tight end though that I was thinking of. I just can't remember. I'll tell you a tight end to go look for in this draft though that I really like. He's going to day 3 guy. Russell Maryland's kid, R.J. Maryland, who plays for SMU. He's a 245-pound receiving tight end, but he is a damn good receiving tight end. All right, that is going to do it for us. We should probably, before we get out of here, let's thank our good friends at Habas Law. 1-800-INJURED. They will fight to make it right. I love Habas Law. My dad was an attorney. My brother is an attorney and now a judge. I've always understood the importance of a good attorney. And if you've been injured and you want to win, there's only one call to make. That's habaslaw.com. Visit habaslaw.com on the web. Habas Law, they will fight to make it right. When Habas Law goes up against the big insurance companies try to deny and hope that you'll give up, and they really don't want to pay. They try to stall you out. Habas Law doesn't allow them to do that. They grind them down. They expose every weakness. They hit with strategy, pressure, relentless preparation. They know every inch of the legal playing field. Nothing, and I mean nothing, catches Habas Law off guard. So if you've been injured and you want to win, there's only one call to make. Visit habaslaw.com, 1-800-INJURED. Habas Law, they will fight to make it right. All right, that's going to do it for us. Raj, excellent stream. I'll give you the final word before we bolt for the door. Thanks to everybody who was here. We got over 1,300 people watching this thing live. I just want to say thank you to everybody. Without you, we'd be talking to ourselves. But Raj, I'll give you the final word before we pull the exit hatch and run for the door.
Yeah, all I got to say is let's hope the Patriots beat the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. That's all I need. I just can't wait.
Go Drake May.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared.